In this video, we're going to be working on fraction of problems in multiplication, and we're going to show how they're how they're related. Our first sample problem is going to be 3/5 of 10, and the first step of figuring out the fraction of a number is to determine the unit fraction of that number. And the unit fraction is just when 1 is the numerator over the denominator. So for 3/5, the unit fraction would be 1/5. Now, to show it with a picture, to find 1/5 of 10, we're going to divide by the denominator, 5. So with a picture, we could show that. We can show 10 divided by 5 by putting that 10 into 5 groups. So each of our groups then is worth 1/5. Board's messing up here. Each one of our fractions is 1/5. Now we need to figure out what 3/5 of that is. So to do that, we could just, with our picture, we could go 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, and see that 3/5 of 10 then would be 6. Because in each of the fifths is 2. 3/5 then would be 2, 4, 6. Now if we're going to look at that a different way, we know that 1/5 in this problem represents 2 out of 10. And we also know that 3/5 equals 1/5 times 3. And 1/5 times 3 is 3/5. So going back to our picture, 1/5 was 2. We know that 3/5 is 1/5 times 3, so we're going to take our 2 times 3. We're going to take our 2 times 3, and that's going to equal 6. So 3/5 of 10 is equal to 6. For our next thing we're going to talk about the problem three sets of 4 coins. 3 sets of 4 coins. Now, to do a problem like this, 3 sets of 4 coins, we could make 3 sets. Each set has 4 coins in it. Each set has 4 coins in it. And so we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 sets of 4 coins is 12 coins. And if we were going to write that as a math problem, we would write this as 3 times 4 equals 12. So many times when we see of in math, we're referring to multiplication. So if we would go back to the original problem that we had, 3/5 of 10, another way of thinking about that would be 3/5 times 10. We can still go through the same process to figure that out. When we're doing 3/5 of 10, what we're actually doing is 3/5 times 10. All right, let's look at one final question here. And for this one, we're going to do 2/3 of 24. And remember, when we're finding the fraction of a number, we're actually multiplying. So 2/3 of 24 is the same as 2/3 times 24. Our first step is to figure out what 1/3 of 24 is. To do that, we're going to remember we have to divide by the denominator. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 2/3 equals 1/3 times 2. Since 1/3 times 2 is 2/3, we're also going to have to take the 8 times 2, which is 16. So that shows us that 2/3 times 24 equals 16. To finish up, remember that the first thing that you need to do to find the fraction of a number is to divide the whole number by the denominator. Then the next step is whatever you get after dividing, you're going to multiply that answer by the numerator, and that will give you, or that will let you know what the fraction of that original number was. Make sure that you let your teachers know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.